Okay. I think we got it. Let's see how long it holds on. I seem to still get comments off to the side, even when it tells me there's nobody else watching it. And you're gone. It dropped you again. Can you see me? There we go. Got you back. I don't know what that's about. So I'm watching that little viewer tally up at the top. And you were there immediately. And then you dropped down to 0 again. And then it picked up again. And I've seen that happen a few times. And when it freaks out like it does sometimes, it drops you again and the 0 appears instead of 1 again. But I still have a timing off to my side here that suggests that I'm still recording. But I'm not. Like when I go back and look, I will almost guarantee right when it dropped you, it stopped recording, even though I got about 3 more minutes on there. The minutes will be missing. I don't know what that's about, but at this point, I think being careful not to point the camera at this screen and not force it to refocus or white balance too often, because that, I guess, disrupts its ability to function. I might be able to go into camera settings and turn off automatic focus or automatic white balance. And if I can turn those off, that may settle some of those issues. Because I do recall at one point having an issue with trying to adjust the sound or the video. Like I had my laptop webcam and this webcam, and I think I tried to switch between cameras at one point, and I think that was a big indicator of some of what might go wrong, because that was one of the things that crashed it the first time it ever crashed. I think it was back when we were trying OBS, I think, and trying to do some of those picture-in-picture effects. And I'm using just the YouTube Live feature. So at the top of YouTube, there's a little picture of a camera with a play button on it. And if you click on that, it says upload or live. And I usually just hit live. It opens up a thing where I enter the title and private or public, and then I can set which camera and which microphone to use. And I can also add a description and tweak a couple of other little things that I never play with. And then you hit go, it takes a thumbnail picture, and then when you're ready to go, hit go live, turn top chat into live chat, and then it gets us here. Now, I don't know if OBS would work better. I seem to recall having issues with getting OBS to work at all last time I played with it. And I got sort of frustrated. I might have even tried it on this one. Got so frustrated, I deleted it completely from this computer. And then just kind of gave up on that. But I'm not sure if HitFilm has a live streaming capability. I might look into seeing if they do and see if that works better. The trick is, I'd almost wager that trying to do any live streaming through a program might be more work for the processor and computer and the RAM than just doing it through the YouTube website. So I'm not inclined to think that that'll work particularly well. but I might give it a try as an experiment sometime in the future. And again, I think I've mentioned in the past, I sort of had to cheat on the live videos for mukbang because I can't eat that kind of food at that kind of level every single day for a week. It would kill me. So what I ended up doing was, starting at New Year's, I knew that if I did once a week with, I think I did a couple double days. So I did New Year's and then 5 weeks. Yeah, 5 weeks of mukbang, and then doubled up on one of them. I think that's what I did. So 7 categories at that time. Yeah, something like that. At any rate, what I did was I recorded them with my laptop camera and kept them on my hard drive. And then when it came close to the time that each day a new one would go up, that week I did a couple of them live. I think I did one or two of them. I did one live, and then the others were done with YouTube Premiere, I guess. And what that is a video recording that you post like a day ahead of time, and it puts up the thumbnail and says video coming soon, and then I think it's like 20 seconds before, or 10 seconds before it goes live, it does a countdown, and then it goes live, it plays the video, and then has the chat off to the side that I can type in. And so every day that week I could come into the live, sit and chat on the live while the video was a pre-recorded video. And so I could do more like that, especially since pre-recording them, I don't seem to ever have an issue with loss of signal. So anything where I think it might be like that, I may start doing them as premieres, sit in the chat live and let the pre-recorded episode go. And so, like, I won't be doing as much of reading your comment off to the side out loud and interacting as much on the video, but I will be interacting in the chat. So I'll be there to talk about what I was going through at the time. And I think that's a good workaround right now for whatever glitches keep happening on this system. But I don't think I'll need it as often. Like when I do writing, I don't really need it. When I do taste tests, I don't really need it. Unless we continue to have some of these crashes happening when I'm not even doing intense stuff. If I do another one of video games, I may do brainstorming sessions and talk through sessions live, but I may do a premiere video 2 or 3 times that week where I can show the screen and what I'm working on. And I might do that for videos. Maybe for some of the music stuff. I don't know about the artwork yet. It seemed to freak out even when we were just pointing it at paper. So if it gives me indications that it's going to behave that way, I may pre-record some of that. I'll have to think about that. But I may end up using that Premiere feature more often. I still like doing these as live videos. I just think there's some areas where I can't necessarily do that, so I may work around it. So 22 minutes last time and 20 minutes today. We're at 10 right now, so if we go another 10, I think that'll be a good place to call it for the night. And tomorrow's the start of a new week, which is this is the new laptop. The old laptop's screen is so busted that it doesn't work anymore. So I'm doing this all on the new laptop. The issue, I think, like I'm trying to remember. There was one time I had about a yeah. So this is webcam. This is the camera you sent me on the new laptop with the microphone you sent me, and we've had this work before without any issues. But lately, sometimes it seems like it's giving more issues. But I will say, when we first did the cooking, the recipes that I did in the kitchen, that first day, we lost a half an hour of footage. And it was to that glitch where it stops playing, but it came back and continued at one point and just excerpt that part that it crashed on. I think the second day it did something somewhat similar, but then the subsequent days it had no problems. It worked just fine, and I don't know why. Although, if I remember correctly, the first 2 days there was a bit of reaching closer to the camera, and sometimes the camera would try to reset focus, and it would stutter. It would see that bright, dark real quick. So that might be part of it. I'm trying to remember. I think the first time I did paintings and visual arts was with the old web camera on the old laptop, not this new one. So I didn't have any of those problems with that. So I'm wondering about that. And then when else have we had issues? Like when I was doing these arts, pointing at some of the light wood color and the paper and reaching across the screen with a dark sleeve, like going from light surface to dark surface, closer and further away, the focus and the white balance, that might be part of it. The other thing I will say is, ever since we've had this camera and this microphone, most of the videos I did until about a week and a half ago, maybe 2 weeks ago. Actually, let's put it this way. Until that day I posted the video of being as sick as I was, every video I'd pretty much done was on the old laptop with the new camera and the new mic. And I don't think we had any crashes or errors with that. Although I'm trying to think, we might have had an issue once or twice where I pulled up this new laptop off to the side and tried to show something on the screen with the camera. It may be up to the point where I'll have to do an experiment once or twice and just see what it is that's doing it. So I have to make a list and take a look at it and go like, okay, so does it happen with the mic? So if I unplug the mic and use the microphone and the webcam, does it happen? If I use the laptop's webcam, does it happen? If I use a lower resolution on this camera, does it happen? if I put the mic and the laptop or the webcam on the other computer when I set it up again and point it at this screen, does it happen? And then we're pretty much sure that if we point this camera on this computer onto this computer's screen while the mic's plugged in, we're pretty sure at this point that's going to happen. I don't know why, but, and you know, the other question to ask is, if I take this down to the makerspace where we're sure to get better internet connectivity, will it happen? And so I'll look into that. So hello, if there was another visitor there, we got a number 2 on it. Either that or it's glitching in another way. So that's sort of where we are right now with the artwork for the week. And I will do my best to keep doing these as lives, unless there's something we're fairly certain, like a screenshot that I need to do, or a highly white surface, or something else that may potentially cause a glitch. Then I'll probably try to do them as premieres. So we'll see what that looks like. Play with that a little bit. So this coming week, we've got about 4 minutes, or 3 minutes at this point, right? 4 minutes. This week is, we just finished an art week. My brain keeps telling me that the next one's a video game, but it's not. We swapped this around, so this would have been a video week. Board games are this coming week. So tomorrow night, we'll be brainstorming ideas for a new board game. And so I immediately realized, like, oh, I haven't even prepped to see what style of game I want to do yet. Because I was thinking about doing a dice game. But I have very, very little experience with dice games. So I want to kind of see if I can dig up the rules to a few sets of dice games that seem to be popular dice games, and then break those rules down, rebuild them in new ways, and apply them a new theme and art style, and potentially a rule system that's sort of like new. And so I got to go break down some things tonight and figure that out in prep for tomorrow. But that's sort of where we are with this. After board games is product development. I'm not sure what I'm doing for that. And then taste tests or food-based. Food-based live videos. I think I was going to do like an actual taste test. So get some orders from restaurants and do some of that. And then I may not do that this time though. I'll have to figure that out. Figure out what I'm doing with that in a minute. And then after taste tests is video week, because I believe that's when I get down to VidCon in California. And I had some ideas for that, actually. I was brainstorming the possibility of doing a test run of like the slideshow and the picture within picture, and some of those things that I've talked about before, because VidCon is on. What the heck was that? VidCon is on the 10th through the 14th. And so the first, I think, 3 days of that week. Oh, that was the door closing. That was the door in another room blowing closed. So VidCon is half of a week. It's technically it's Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Wednesday is a Wednesday night. You can Wednesday evening you can go in and register and go to a party in a plaza for a couple hours the first night, and then everybody goes home or whatever. And then the next day is when the actual full convention is in swing. So I don't know that I really want to be at the party, though technically, since I've paid for my badge, I should just be able to go in. So it's sort of like a day that I'm not using. But we'll see how that works out in the long run. But what that means is Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and most of Wednesday, there's not any content going on for VidCon that I can post about. But Thursday, Friday, Saturday, those days will be, I'm feeling like, based off of what I've been able to achieve so far, they may be pre-recorded and posted at that time, if I can get that to do that. Yeah, it'll be tricky to see what I can do that time. But the first part of the week, those first 4 out of 7 days, I'm thinking what I'll probably try to do is, and they may be pre-recorded as well, but they're going to be attempts to try to do things like the still image, picture-in-picture slideshow kind of videos, and using my cell phone, can I get audio and video that I can use to make another video? And then can I do a few other little challenges and tricks? I think that's where I'm going to go for that. And then it becomes a tricky little situation of, after video week is video game week, followed by health and well-being, and writing, and video week somewhere in there, right? Yeah. So I'll have to figure that out. I'll have a better sense of where we are tomorrow. So I'm going to call it here for tonight. Thanks for sticking with me through all the weirdness that happened. I will talk to you tomorrow. Take care of yourself and have a good night. Yeah, we'll figure this out eventually.